Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. This video is a continuation of the reading that I began in the Pluto Retrograde video. I was interrupted. My child woke up from a nap. So I'm completing the reading for you guys now. And I'm not going to go back over anything that I went over in the first video. If you haven't watched that first video yet, I will link it down below. I would recommend that you watch that first so you get more of the background on Pluto's retrograde in Aquarius, this and next year being the last 2 years that we are on the same date, both years, 5-2, moving toward that 5-5 portal. We are going to be experiencing that dip back into Capricorn. After 2024, Pluto will no longer be retrograding back into Capricorn. So these are the final sweeps that we're going through here. We are releasing massive amounts of density. We are releasing old inverted timelines. We are releasing old inverted storylines, belief systems, programming. It's so much is going, so much is falling away and dropping off right now. And it really is like a death and rebirthing process, which is, of course, what Pluto is famous for. As I was looking at the Ascension Flame card, which is the last card we were talking about before the last video ended, I was noticing how this really does look like a reaper, right? And this looks like his scythe. And so just really amplifying that energy for us of cutting away the old, cutting away what doesn't serve, of quite literally an ego death and a rebirth. And we talk about this energy on here all the time. If you are really enthralled in this process, really throw yourself wholeheartedly into this process of spiritual evolution, soul evolution. You are constantly dying and being reborn. One of the interesting things that I learned recently, those of you who follow this channel regularly know that I'm training right now for my aura, quantum healing, soul regression therapy, entity removal technique, and raw Reiki. And as I'm learning so much more and things that I'm going to be sharing more and more with you guys in the coming weeks and months, I'm learning about this energy, this design of our particular universe. Because remember, we live within a multiverse. There are infinite number of universes that are part of creation, right? But our specific universe is modeled after the energy of the phoenix. So it's a constant rebirthing energy, a death and rebirthing process that we are undertaking. And with that in mind, of course, it makes sense that Pluto would be the planet that most astrologers link most closely with the evolution of the soul, right? Because it is connected to that phoenix energy. That is the energy that Pluto embodies. So I really love that connection there. And that was a long-winded way of saying, if you have really thrown yourself wholeheartedly into this process of your own evolution, you're constantly dying and being reborn. It's just, ego death is almost like it doesn't phase us anymore, right? Because we're constantly going through it. We're used to it. So just surrender into that process again. There's a deeper sense of purpose that is awakening within each and every single one of us as we move through this 5-5 portal and the Pluto retrograde. And the Pluto retrograde, the dates for that are in the first video. I'm not going to go back over that again on here either. So check that first video out. Next card out is the Golden Light Ray, love and laughter, receiving and giving gifts, passionate projects. So there's a lot of beautiful energy. We have the Ascension Flame here. We have the Golden Light Ray, just being constantly supported as we always are. And I really love this energy. It's the energy of generosity. It's that lightness of spirit. And this is not an energy that we particularly or often associate with Pluto and Pluto's transits, right? Because Pluto is that deep, dark, dredging everything up to the surface kind of an energy, right? But so I think this is just a reminder. Spirit is through this 5-5 portal particularly. I'm feeling these beautiful golden light rays. This beautiful high vibrational energy is coming through to really lift us up and really allow us to move through this process of ego death, to move through this process of releasing density, of staring our demons in the face, right? Because this is what happens. This is what Pluto brings through for us. And in that first reading, we talked about, I started losing my train of thought there. Give me a second, you guys. Just the intensity of that process. And I think this this beautiful high vibrational light, these beautiful high vibrational light codes coming in are really going to assist us in, oh, that's what it was that I was going to say, in allowing us to keep a lightness to our spirit, keep that sense of hope, keep that sense of optimism, even when we are delving into our darkness. We were discussing the importance of practicing self-love when we are doing shadow work, because if we are looking at these deep, dark parts of ourselves, the parts of ourselves that scare us, the parts of ourselves that we're ashamed of, and we're not doing that from a place of loving the self-acceptance, self-love, it's probably not going to go very well. All right, because the whole idea of what people term as shadow work is that we are integrating all of that within us, and we integrate it through love. Right? Love is the answer to everything. Love is the magical elixir, the magical key. Love is the golden chalice, all right? So we are the Holy Grail, if you will. So we are utilizing this process of radical self-acceptance and radical self-love in order to be able to view the shadows within us without falling, I don't want to say falling victim to them, but without catering to them might be you guys know I have trouble with words sometimes on here when when I get going. We need that love to be that alchemizing force. Otherwise, we're just wallowing in it. We're falling into victimhood. We're falling into blaming. We're falling into resentment. We're getting stuck in those emotions. All right. We don't want to get stuck there. And so love is the force that frees us. It is that energy, that provides the alchemy in that process. All right. So keeping that lightness of spirit. I feel like there is beautiful assistance for people coming in during this time, not only in the ethereal, but in the physical as well. And I feel like Spirit's saying, if this energy is feeling really intense for you, if you are finding yourself continually getting drawn into your darkness and feeling trapped there, feeling that heaviness kind of overwhelming you, like that density is coming up, but you're not sure, it's kind of like a bottle with a cork in it, that wants to explode, but it's just the cork won't budge. Dive into a passionate project. Dive into something that brings your spirit joy. Something that has meaning for you, passion and purpose. Or just that makes you feel good. And work with that energy of giving and receiving as well. Some people, I feel, during this Pluto retrograde, their shadows are going to show them where it is that they are perhaps lacking in one way or the other. The ability to receive or the ability to give, and finding more of a balance there. Because remember, in order for abundance, and we don't just mean material abundance, we mean abundance in all aspects of being, there has to be an even symbiotic flow of giving and receiving. All right, those energies work in tandem. It's like whenever I talk about that, it's like I see the figure 8, the infinity symbol. All right, these two energies, giving and receiving, weaving around each other and creating that infinity of energy. So the last two cards I think I'm going to pull from this deck are Well-Being and Dharma Wheel. Interesting. So well-being, this is self-preservation, service to spirit, youthful experience, taking care of the self, right? We talked about the importance of taking care of all the aspects of the being, right? The energetic, the physical, the etheric. And what I'm feeling here, Dharma Wheel is card number 11. We have card number 36 here and card number 11. And this speaks of karmic lessons, peer pressure, and moral codes. And so for some people, this is where things are going to come up within the shadow, where we're going to notice and we're going to perhaps see the error of some of our decisions, especially the decisions that we made based on peer pressure, based on pressure from outer forces, based on other people's values and morals, other people's truths, where we perhaps ignored our own truth or couldn't even hear and be in touch with the truth within ourselves because the outside energy was too loud. And there are some specific scenarios that this especially reminds me of, some which we have to tread kind of lightly when we talk about on here, on platforms such as this. But think about major choices and decisions that the media, that society, that the powers that be, will call them, the big G, right? That these energies all came together to try to, decisions that they tried to collectively force on people, right? Systems that began coalescing to usurp our free will and our ability to make choices about our own bodies, about what it is that we take into our bodies. That's one scenario that's immediately coming to mind when I see this. But this is any choice, any decision, and absolutely any trend where we notice where we've been making our choices and decisions based on what other people tell us is right, based on pressure from outside forces, and the karmic toll that takes on us, the consequences of those actions. And I do want to state, for people who feel that they were pressured into certain choices and decisions that I said I can't speak super freely about on here, but those of you who know will know. If you feel that you were pressured into a decision and you're now really regretting that and wanting relief from perhaps some of the karmic and energetic repercussions of that, you're ready to clear some of that energy, to step into a space of sovereignty where it was that perhaps you noticed that you gave your sovereignty away, please contact me, because assisting people in this manner with these energies is something that I will be learning through my aura and my raw Reiki. But putting that specific energy aside, this is anywhere where you have compromised your sovereignty for any reason, but specifically around needing to work within a framework of society's moral codes and what society has told you, or your peers or your group have told you was correct. All right, and we see this with Pluto and Aquarius, right? And we got into this a little bit in the first video. Pluto is coming through every time it does a sweep through a sign. And I talked about this in the Pluto and Aquarius video, which I'm also going to link for you down below, because that's another really important video if you guys have not watched that one, where we talk about this energy of Pluto and how Pluto is linked to the astrological ages, and the way that Pluto comes through and does another clearing and cleansing of the sign that the astrological age is of. For instance, right now we're on Aquarius, and so Pluto will sweep multiple times through the sign of Aquarius as we move through the age of Aquarius, and each time it's a deeper clearing of the energies, moving us toward a higher vibration of those energies and the way that we experience those energies. And one of the main energies of Aquarius, we're looking at groups, we're looking at collectives, we're looking at sovereignty, we're looking at the unique, us understanding and honoring the uniqueness of the self-expression. All right, living our truth, speaking our truth, standing up against systems that are based in lies, or that are faulty and not functioning correctly. And Aquarius is the energy that will call that out. All right, so we're sweeping through all of those energies. We're seeing where it is that we have perhaps compromised ourselves in order to please others. Where it is that we have sacrificed our own well-being. Where it is that we put others before ourselves. And some people, it's going to be the vice versa. You're going to see where it is that you've put yourself before others to an unhealthy extent. Right? We want to have that healthy balance. Yeah, so we're really going to be reviewing, we're always reviewing karmic lessons when we work with Pluto, Plutonic energies, right? And retrogrades. But this is going to be a big one. This is going to be a big one. And this is like the preservation of our spirit. Really seeing and understanding where we have compromised ourselves to the point that we are actually compromising our very soul, and taking that energy, taking that power back, stepping into our sovereignty. All right. I do not consent. Consenting only to what we truly feel is right and authentic for our soul. All right. And then we have the sphere of light. And see the ancestral energy there? I love that. This card always speaks to me of ancestral healing. It speaks to me of really during this 5-5 portal, and we talked about this, and we're talking about the 5-5 portal because it is happening within days of Pluto stationing retrograde. And it's a big, big energy, especially this year's 5-5 because it's happening in conjunction with the lunar eclipse in Scorpio. And there's a live stream on the 5-5 portal that I also recommend, if you guys haven't watched it, you check out as well. But we're talking about Mother Earth herself, Gaia, shedding density, and how she sheds that density partially through us. All right, how we are some of the conduits through which that energy is released. All right, and so there's ancestral healing, there's healing and clearing for the planet happening. And see this ball of light with, that's like what the earth is going to look like as we move through that 5-5 portal. All right, and we've been guided to send as much love and light to the planet as we can during this energy. A blinding force of love light. We're going to feel that connection to each other, to the animals, to the plants, to all of the consciousness within creation, because everything has a consciousness, right? Not just you or me. Animals have consciousness, grass has a consciousness, rocks, plants, trees, it all has a consciousness. So really opening up that energy of interconnectedness and feeling and recognizing and honoring that. A lot of people feeling called to honor nature, to honor this planet and work towards preservation of her, to reconnect with the old ways of living in harmony with nature. I feel like for some people too, it's like your hand chakras are going to be activated. Yeah. And something interesting that I learned about the hand chakras is that they're like mini heart chakras. And then we have the Antakarana on the bottom of the deck, crossing the rainbow bridge. And this is all about resurrection and coming full circle. Look how powerful and sovereign she looks. Your soul, I feel, has been on a journey for quite some time. And that journey, the wisdom and knowledge gained through all of those experiences and incarnations, all of that is coming full circle and coalescing, coming together right now. So I feel that energy, just as we saw that ball of light with the light shooting out, that light's also coming in. All right, so we talk about, what's the word that I'm looking for here? Soul retrieval. Aspects such as this during a lot of these portals and these retrogrades and events. And this feels like another big one for that. Really, especially like aspects of your galactic soul energy. Clear. Returning to you. For some people, it's like in that process of reclaiming your sovereignty in whatever way, shape, or form you are guided to do that. Clear. That there's an automatic soul retrieval that happens with that as well. What is this card? This was on the bottom of the deck. I think in the last reading too, it says Light Seeker. Light Quest, Visionary, Mental Strength, Resilience. And this is what is required of us at this time, right? Mental strength and resilience. We talk about all the time, this is a spiritual war. It is a war on consciousness. All right? So we have to be mentally strong. We have to be mentally resilient. We have to continue to do this work of reprogramming, of releasing the old programming, deprogramming, defragging the computer system of our minds, right? Releasing all of this, noticing and recognizing. And I think that that's what's going to be happening for a lot of people during this Pluto retrograde as well. It's just the recognizing of programming that you hadn't even realized still exists within you. Programming that you've soaked up from society without even realizing it. And a lot of us are pretty aware of that, but I feel like there's going to be a whole other level of that, of awareness around that comes in. Clear. All right. I want to pull a card from my Sacred Rebels deck because you are all Sacred Rebels. I want to get some energy here for Pluto retrograde, 5/5 portal for my Sacred Rebels. Give me some guidance here. What do we need to know? What guidance do you have for us as we move through this Pluto retrograde? I love it. So, the card that came out for us is collaborative dreaming. And then on the bottom of the deck here we have against the grain, and under that inner trust. And how perfect is that? This is the Aquarius energy that we were just talking about, going against the grain. Calling out the corruption where we see it. All right? Learning to trust ourselves more deeply. To no longer allow other people to dictate what is right. And to go along with choices and decisions that do not resonate within, that feel wrong. It's like the whole world is telling you something's right, but inside you know that it's not. All right? Trusting in yourself, in your own divination, in your own wisdom. Trusting that you know the difference between what is right and what is wrong for yourself, that you have that level of discernment. Collaborative dreaming, this is all about co-creating, working together, kindred souls coming together. And this is a beautiful energy of Aquarius as well, right? And so it's like during this Pluto retrograde, I feel like our alliances with certain organizations and certain groups is going to begin shifting. Even like for some people, I'm feeling like, say you were starting a conscious community even with somebody. Or something similar like that. And all of a sudden you're realizing that your vision and their vision don't align the way you thought that they did. That's going to be happening for some people. And it could be with anything, right? It could be a charity that you work with. It could be just absolutely anything, any group or organization. But for some people, it's like something that you're starting like on that ground level that you're going to realize, and that who you align with and who you don't. And where your vision resonates with another's and where it doesn't. And there's going to be a clarity of where it is that we need to part ways and where it is that we need to come together, who we're drawn towards. And who we're going to be drawn towards is people that truly hold the same dream. Those who hold the same dream within their hearts have the same level of motivation to make it a reality. And also acknowledge the same truths that we do. I want to see if there's anything else in this card that I want to read for people. I love that. I think that's one of the most gorgeous cards in this deck, really. Hold that up again for everyone. It's gorgeous both ways, right? This says, your heart is big enough to dream not only for yourself, but for a new humanity. Imagine a world that is healed with respect, understanding, and with community that fosters life. Even your dreams that relate to you alone will contribute positively to the greater good because that is the nature of your heart. Your heart naturally and intelligently cooperates in a grand scheme of loving creativity, working to heal the hearts of the world. The heart creates win-win situations that benefit the individual and the collective. You're being asked to honor your growing desire to co-create with conscious, like-minded people. Your collaborative dreaming is a heart-inspired win-win, bringing mutual enhancement to yourself and others. The heart wants to love and be loved. Working with others creatively is a way to allow the heart to grow. It is a chance for you to learn how to honor yourself and others and to find ways to live and let live, simply by growing and strengthening your active trust in your heart's guidance. Inner trust, right? Let's see. And this is all about the energies that happen when you co-create with others, right? The bumps in the road, the triggers that come up, the ways that your shadow is revealed to you through the people that you are interacting and working with. And this is going to be coming up for a lot of people. And so it's going to be, once again, learning how to trust yourself and know, do I truly not align with these people? Because like I said, for some people that realization is going to be coming through. Or are they simply bringing up my own demons, my own shadows that I need to work on? All right. And with that being said, because this is a Pluto retrograde video and we are going deep. Ooh, and I love this, that this card popped up as I was putting the cards back in the deck. Defend to the end the worthwhile. This card is all about knowing your truth, even if the world won't recognize it, and standing by that, come hell or high water, essentially. And I want to actually, let me look through to this and see if there's an excerpt out of this. This is like seeing through the falsity and sometimes being the only person that can see and recognize it, but standing strong in your conviction anyway. Yeah, I'm going to read a little bit of this too. Beneath the illusions, pretty as they may seem, you know what is real. Beneath the lies, sweet though they may sound, you know what is worthwhile. All that is genuinely and truly essential for the heart to throb with life is worthwhile. Anything that dulls it or suffocates its vibrant aliveness must be questioned, challenged, and more than likely cast aside, for the heart is our key to living an authentic life. What is there once that is compromised? Without its foundation of truth, we are to be forever lost in confusion, doubt, and despair. You are a sacred warrior, a defender of the heart. You have cried genuine tears of your own grief and also the grief of the world. You have raged at injustice and oppression in your own life and in the world. You have felt the need to protect the presence of love, for whilst it is exceptionally powerful, it can too easily be smothered under lies and fear. The sacred warrior must not heed the dangerous voices that say, "Oh, stop being so sensitive. Stop making such a big deal out of things. Love is the biggest deal there is." What else is worth being so sensitive about? The sacred warrior is vigilant that the presence of love is not chipped away by fear, criticism, doubt, or untruths. Even if others find the unflinching honesty of your feelings difficult to handle, even if those feelings are expressed with gentleness and compassion, the sacred warrior honors the task of being more faithful to love than to anything else. This includes the fear of loss. Actually, it includes the fear of anything at all. This oracle brings guidance to honor even the smallest steps in your path of the sacred warrior. They are no less important than the most noticeable or dramatic actions on the path. Remember, how you do one thing is how you do everything. One single misstep can begin a landslide of great devastation. Being vigilant with what is meaningful and what is truthful, even in the smallest and seemingly most insignificant ways, strengthens the sacred warrior and prevents darkness from gaining a stronghold from the inside. That darkness will be intelligent and sneaky. It will tell you that it doesn't matter, that this one time you can just forget what you promised, that you are just one person and that you can't make a difference anyway. The darkness will lure you into sleepy ambivalence and dull your light if you allow it to. The sacred warrior within will fight with love and honor to be true to what has meaning and never ever allow it to be cast aside, even if it seems easier in the moment. The sacred warrior finds joy and humor in life to prevent the seriousness of the task from stifling the heart that just wants to live and be free. And that's where we felt that carefree energy and guidance coming in, right? That joy brings strength to the warrior and an expanded, relaxed awareness that can sense the presence of fear, whether it is masked as anger, hate, or doubt, and immediately respond to it with fierce compassion. The sacred warrior will not allow fear to gain a stronghold within the heart. This oracle has special guidance for you. You are being asked to stay strong and stand your ground. This might be in a big emotional journey that feels like the fight of your life. It might be in a matter that does not seem to hold much importance. Perhaps, for example, you are contemplating an idea that you feel could be something, but those around you declare it is nothing much, too impractical, too little, or too much. However, what is happening or soon will be happening is worthwhile, so hold tight. Ask for help through the healing process below. Stay true to the sacred warrior of love that you are and defend to the end all that is worthwhile.